Field Service Manager with ERTEC Environmental Systems, a manufacturer of sediment and erosion control products. The purpose of this video is to train home builders, subcontractors, and installers how to install, work with, and maintain ERTEC Perimeter Guard. Before we get started with the training, let's tell you a little bit about the features and benefits of the Perimeter Guard product. The application it was designed for was for sediment control, BMP, for home construction perimeters or for high traffic perimeters like the site you see behind me here. It's got a water filtration system. It allows the water to flow through while stopping more sediment than your traditional BMPs. That better sediment control translates to less street sweeping and less cleaning of the site. Another key feature of Perimeter Guard is its durability. Perimeter Guard is designed to last through all of the rigors and abuses and traffic of a vertical home construction site. Because it survives the entire life of the project, and with reduced maintenance costs, Perimeter Guard offers a much lower total cost solution to the home builder. Perimeter Guard also improves the appearance of the construction site, offering a crisp, clean look. One installation will survive from land development to landscaping with no additional material purchases. Even as build-outs take longer, up to 4 and 5 years now, Perimeter Guard will still continue to survive through the life of those projects. And with proper management, over 80% of the product can be reusable, which adds to the savings. You don't have to reuse Perimeter Guard to enjoy some significant savings, but if you are able, like most of our customers, to take about 80% of this onto your next project, obviously that adds to the significant savings already enjoyed. Okay, we're just about ready to install, but first let's show you the piece of Perimeter Guard. It's a 7-foot long piece, plus a little bit extra here for inserting into the other end. As you can see, it's notched out for insertion. It's a 6-inch tall product with a 4-inch flap, constructed of high-density polyethylene, recyclable plastic, same as found in milk jugs. Okay, here we have all the tools that you'll need to install ERTEC Perimeter Guard. As you can see, ERTEC changes the way that BMPs are installed. You don't need a mechanized crew, you just need a couple of guys and a small collection of tools here. We'll start with the shovel. We recommend a 5-inch trenching shovel. ERTEC Perimeter Guard has a 4-inch flap, so the 5-inch wide trenching blade is a perfect shelf for it when you install. For anchoring the nails, you're going to use just a typical hammer. We recommend a 6-inch nail, type 60D, that's 60D. No need to get galvanized nails. For dog legs and going around obstacles, you may need to cut the Perimeter Guard. Utility knife or any pocket knife will be suitable for that. And for occasional instances where you may need to tie together some pieces of Perimeter Guard, you can use a wire tie like this. We're ready to install the Perimeter Guard now. The site where we'll be installing today is a home building site where they had another BMP in place previously. That BMP was determined by the builder not to be effective. You can see there's been some sediment delivery onto the sidewalk and out onto the gutter pan, so the builder's asked us to install Perimeter Guard. And let's get started. Installation of Perimeter Guard is very easy. The first step is preparing your trench. I'm going to start by digging a trench about 1.5 inches down. It's important to keep the edge of the shovel right up against the curb or walk to prepare a nice right angle so that the Perimeter Guard can stand upright. As you see, I'm just going to work my way along here, trenching down again about 1.5 inches deep. The width of the shovel, make sure that the flap is a nice 5 inches wide. Okay, so after quickly preparing a trench about 1.5 inches deep, I'm going to come behind and just clean with the edge of the shovel up against the sidewalk, the curb or the walk, to make sure that we've got a nice right angle available there. Okay, now that our trench is prepared, we're ready to start connecting our pieces together. I'm going to show you how to assemble the joints. You want to start by taking the female end of one piece and opening it up wide so that you can accommodate the male end of the other piece. Make sure to insert all the way till it stops. It's important so that the joint will stay connected during traffic. Now with the joint assembled, we're ready to place the Perimeter Guard in the trench. Make sure to place it up and nice and tight against the curb. We're ready for anchoring. Okay, as you notice, I've placed it in the trench. I've got it butted tightly up against the curb here. I want to make sure that there's no opportunity for soil or anything to escape from behind. I'm getting ready to anchor it. I'm going to place my foot on the flap of the PG and help pin it up against the curb. So as I'm anchoring it, I want to make sure that it doesn't pull away from the curb at all. I'm going to take one of the nails. I'm going to aim for the center of the Perimeter Guard flap and anchor straight down, stopping at the top of the flap. So when anchoring, you're going to want to use 3 nails per section. And the reason we recommend these nails is that they're very successful at driving in when you have concrete overpour or rocky soils. Some people like to use round top pins or other type products that are thinner gauge, and they sometimes bend up and are very difficult to drive in those type of conditions. As I'm putting the third anchor in here, you want to be careful not to anchor through the connection of the two pieces. You want to anchor about a foot in on either side. As we're rolling along with our installation here, we've run across a couple of obstacles that are very typical on home building sites. We've got a water utility box, we've got a concrete slab here poured for a fire hydrant. What you want to do ideally is, if you have, here we had an opportunity to run the perimeter guard straight behind the water box because it was far enough out from the curb. Sometimes these are up very tight. If it's not quite 4 inches, you can also cut a little bit of a section out of the flap here to accommodate the water box. But sometimes you're going to run into situations like this where the concrete box is poured directly up against the sidewalk and you have no option except to cut and turn the piece. What you want to do here in this case is line up the piece where it's going to be, figure out where it is on the section that you're going to need to make the dog leg the turn. Take your razor knife or pocket knife and make a vertical slit in the flap right at that point. That'll enable you to pinch and turn and make your dog leg right here. And then we'll connect the joint here and we'll insert this piece. We can make an additional cut here to continue to sculpt all the way around. Okay, we've run into another situation where you're going to need to cut and bend the perimeter guard piece. Here we've got the end of a run here. We don't want to just leave an opening where water can flow right through over the edge of the driveway. So we're going to cut a dog leg here in the perimeter guard to make sure that we're trapping all the water here on the site. I grab my knife, measure, cut the slit, and we're ready to install. We're now ready for the final step of installation before we move on to cleanup, and that last step is backfilling. The purpose of backfilling the flap is twofold. One, it assists the nails with anchoring the perimeter guard in position. And it's also critical to ensure that when the water is flowing, that it doesn't undermine the perimeter guard and directs the water flow through the filter. So we're just going to use the soil that we have left over from the trenching that we did. We've got some loose soil available here. We're going to start distributing that back over the flap. I'm going to bury the flap with about an inch of soil. I want to make sure that there's no netting material still visible on the flap, so that we've got a good fill. Make sure that when you're backfilling, you backfill across the entire length of the installation. Also, when the soils are muddy like this, it can help to compact them a little bit. Sometimes you may run into soil where it's very difficult to get some backfill available here right near the curb, and you may need to walk a little bit onto the site and scoop from a place where the soil might be a little bit softer and easier to grab.